Spirit guides, universe, and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Taurus's highest good. When it comes to career, education, and finance, please can you give me 3 cards? One for Taurus's recent past, say the last month. One for Taurus's present, say today, tomorrow, yesterday. And one for Taurus's near future, say the month ahead. First card for the recent past when it comes to Taurus's career, education, and finance, please. So in the recent past, you had the 5 of Wands, okay? So you could have dealt with a lot of conflict in your workplace for the last month or so. Workplaces are incredibly tricky. I find that you can go into a workplace and you can maybe be there for 6 months to a year before the real politics starts to come out, or before the tides changes when it comes to management styles. Different people come and go, different superiors come and go. It's like dealing cards out. The universe is dealing cards out when you're in a workplace. There's so much external factors that influence your day-to-day quality of life and work. What your experience is, how people choose to manage you, their strategy of management, whether they believe in caring for employees, whether they believe in, tough love or high expectations, whether they're perfectionists. It's very, very interesting. And also things like dealing with sociopaths, people that see you as a threat. The wider situation with investment into companies or companies being bought by private investors, companies going into liquidation. There's a lot going on in the world at the moment. It's very, very changeable. You will probably get 6 to 12 months before, your workplace changes after joining it. And it can be really stressful because you feel out of control, okay? So you may feel like it's been a bit of a battle going into work each day with that 5 of Wands. That's what that represents. I love these cards, guys. This is a new deck. It's the Desert Dreams Tarot deck. It's off Temu. It looks like an arena, doesn't it? They're literally like fighting with both arms, like different kinds of weapons. Whilst riding a horse, do you know what I mean? You may feel like I have not got a chance to like put my guard down, not for a second. Let's have a look at the present. Oh my goodness me, the Emperor. Taurus, you've withstood everything that was thrown at you and you've come out on top. The Emperor is the highest status in the tarot deck. I feel like bursting into tears because I'm a Taurus, but I felt like that with the Aries reading as well. I'm an Aries cusper. You've got to a place in your career, Taurus, where you feel like an emperor, and people view you as one. You may not believe that you have that status, or you may feel like you've got the status, but you feel like an imposter. But you're in a fantastic position at the moment. And it's through nothing but hard work, determination, having to battle, okay, all kinds of shit getting thrown your way, and different characters, different people with different motives. Like I said about the wider world, constant change, you have mastered how to navigate, do you know what I mean? You're like Columbus at this point, like Taurus will graft, Taurus the bull, if you think about like ploughing fields, if you think about the strength of a bull, what it's capable of. there's a theory called Kaizen, like a concept called Kaizen, and if you do 15 minutes of something each day, like learn a language or hone a skill, I feel like if that was each day of your life, Taurus, that pure graft and grind like every single day, you yield fantastic results eventually. Like, I think it's slow and steady wins the race with Taurus, and you've got to a point where you're there, and people like the the good thing about slow and steady is no one can knock you off that spot once you're there. When some people like get early success, it's not it's a bit like learning to drive. My brother-in-law, before he passed, he believed in the more lessons that you have, the more hours on the road that you have, the better the driver you are. And bear with me because this is it's a very like intelligent metaphor. But you've waited a long time for this success, Taurus. But now that you're here, no one can knock you from that position because it wasn't a fluke and it wasn't luck. It was just grim determination, dedication, being passionate about what you do, caring about it, and wanting success long term. And you've taken like many different roads to get there. It's like taking all the B roads on a map, but you've got such experience and knowledge and wisdom and so many different, like such a wide array of skills. No one's knocking you from that top spot now. You're sitting pretty, okay? So that's a really good position that you find yourself in, and it's not through anything other than hard work and resilience. And look at the strength in that back on that ball. Like, you can take the weight, you can take the strain. It doesn't mean it's easy. It's not easy. It's nothing to do with that. It's just getting on with it and doing it, you know? I think with Taurians, you don't feel strong. You suffer a lot. You suffer a lot, right? But you're just still there doing it, and I don't know, something about a Taurus. I think it's intimidating to people, and you don't realise that you're intimidating people because you're so focused on what you're doing. You don't mean any harm to anyone, but people are fucking freaked out by it. Okay, so for the month ahead, King of Swords. King of Swords is all about using your intelligence. Okay, so a King of Swords is like a chess player. They are air energy. Okay, King of Swords is like Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So it's all about knowledge being power. Swords are information, communication. Okay, a King of Swords, it's like heavy Aquarian energy. These are people who are all about community. And I mean, they wish to help people in their community by being a mentor, by being a teacher, by taking on maybe an air of authority or power. When you have something like a position where you could grant certain things to people, like legal powers or powers to arrest people or powers to give out tickets, fines, powers to make people culpable and responsible for the things that they've done. Sense of justice. It's about knowing what's right and wrong and having a strong sense of, what's good for the people, what is right for the people. Being a powerful orator, influencer, a powerful writer as well. Um, the King of Swords card is upright. When it's upright, you're using that knowledge and ability to speak well. not to take advantage of others, but for the betterment of society. If it's reversed, it's using those skills that you've got against people in a negative way. It'd be manipulative energy, it would be premeditated, you know, to take advantage of people. It's not. Okay, it's upright. So you have been given the success that you have, Taurus, because you can be trusted with it. Okay, that's the long and the short of it. It's taken you like a long time to get to where you are, and you deserve it because you've never taken advantage of anyone. You've proven yourself, okay, that you're worthy of this responsibility of running an empire, because there's not a chance in hell that you're going to take advantage of anyone or make anyone feel a kind of way. That isn't necessary, okay, or that's undeserving. You would never take advantage of anyone. You could be using your skills in the month ahead to mentor people, to inspire people, to motivate them, to encourage them, to heal them. Some people find career success very healing. They become far more independent. They realise that they don't need to rely upon relationships to make them happy, that the outcome of, you know, their existence isn't down to what someone else does or says. That they can be happy and contented from the work that they do. Not even the work, but like hobbies and passions. It's very healing for people, and you let's see what comes out for your life's purpose, but you may use your unique skills and your strength of character and your position of power to make people accountable for the things that they do if they do wrong, or to motivate or influence people positively. You may do charity work and things like this as well. Let's see. Yoga. Your life is enhanced by yoga, stretching, and exercising. Okay, so you could be someone that helps people with physio or with their physical health, their mental health. I know weightlifting and things that require discipline, like bodybuilding, can be very good for mental health, or just different routines, holistic things like yoga, sound baths, alternative medicines. You could be someone that is literally like helping people mentally and emotionally and spiritually through exercise. Okay. What's this? Oracle cards. You are able to discern answers and guidance for yourself and others. Okay. So you could be someone like a medium or a tarot reader. You could be someone that is a counselor or a therapist, you know, like you could be someone that goes into companies and gets to know the lay of the land and then finds out who is, you know, stealing from the company or who's making a lot of mistakes, you know, that's costing a lot. Some people are really good listeners. I've got a friend who she's a nurse assessor, right? But I've never ever felt so comfortable around anyone than this person. She's so calm. She is a Taurus. She gives off like Earth Mother vibes. She makes a beautiful like home, but it's to welcome people into it, and then she just listens, and like she's very like non-judgmental, very supportive. You feel like safe around her. Like I think people feel like that around you, Taurus, like whether that's like as a career focus or not. You almost evolve into finding a way to use those qualities and eventually make money from it, just almost like accidentally. It was never the intention to make money from it, but it's like people really appreciate these qualities in you. Elements of your like character that people admire about you, which is going to help you with your career, education and finance. Look, your perseverance, absolutely. Determination, like getting beyond like whatever's thrown at you, you know, like whether that be different people, colleagues, co-workers, customers, whatever it is that's getting thrown at you, you're able to. I've had people come in, like, actually, no, I've gone into workplaces where someone's just decided they've got it in for me. They hate my guts, right? And I've outlasted every single one of them. And I'm laughing like an evil bad guy. But it's because they just think that they can like be playground nasty and I will like be intimidated, and it's like that's never worked with me, like not in school, not like as an adult. Even if they try to get me in trouble, it's I don't know what it is. It's like because I'm an honest person, because I work hard and I do worry about my performance in work and I want the best for the organization, that comes across. And anyone who's a troublemaker is already well known to management. And I just find it laughable. I find it laughable. Like it's almost entertaining to me. Um, don't get me wrong, at times, like it's very stressful and it pisses me off because all I want is people to just get on with their job so I can get on with mine. I don't want drama, but if you come for me, like you will lose. I'm sorry, like you will. And you know, like Taurians, because we're empaths and because we generally want the best for people, or we just, if we don't like you, because not everyone likes everyone, we just won't be around you. We don't wish you harm. We just want to get on with what we're doing, you know, mind our own business. But I think we're so protected because of that, that anyone that does wish us harm, um, and everyone gets, you know, enemies that are unwanted, you're just not asked about them. They can't touch you. They're throwing rocks at giants. It happens with narcissists as well that come towards you, sociopaths. They expect a Taurus to crumble, or like because we're empaths, they think that we'll just start crying or do whatever they want. They don't understand. They don't understand, like, if someone argues with me in a relationship, I'll argue back. I wouldn't argue in a workplace because that's a workplace and that's different. But I'll just sit and listen to what they're saying and nod and agree. Because no one can like go anywhere with that. If you nod and you agree with what they're saying, what can they do with that? You've accepted the information. They can't say they're not listening to what I'm saying. They argued, this was their reply. They can't do anything. So it's just clever to just in a workplace just nod and agree and say, okay, sorry about that. They can't, what can they do? They can't do anything. You know, never good to argue in a workplace, but um in terms of like in a relationship, if someone thinks they're going to frighten me by, you know, punching a wall or punching a door or a window in, it's not going to happen. But that's what's bad, is like we could end up hitting each other. Do you know what I mean? But it's I don't know, like I'm never going to back down to anyone who verbally like, I'm not saying I want to get into physical fights with people, nobody wants that. But if someone thinks they're going to intimidate me, like a karmic thinks, like if they argue or raise their voice to me, they don't expect me to argue and raise my voice back. And it doesn't stop them. You have to get away from them. But people just, they get the wrong idea about Tauruses. They mistake kindness for weakness. No, no. Big mistake. I am constantly learning and growing. This is why you've got to where you are, Taurus, because everything that you've withstood, you've reflected on, you've talked about with the people around you, you've processed it, and you've never forgotten it. They're lessons in the bank, do you know what I mean? It's like turning the pages of a book and consuming everything that is laid out on that page. You are like the Hierophant, okay? So you are a font of knowledge at this point. I radiate confidence and self assurance. It intimidates the hell out of people. They're freaked out by it because normally they can make people. I'm not saying you don't suffer and you don't go home and maybe cry sometimes or you don't get frustrated, but it's just because you don't want any drama. You're not looking for trouble. But you are protected, you're divinely protected, and people will lose every time. Some people don't like you, they just don't like you, and it's because they think that you're having a really easy time. They think that everything works out for you, that you don't have a tough time. It's an assumption that's completely wrong. Um, it pisses people off. They don't like it. They don't like it. I'm at peace with myself around the world. Sorry, I'm at peace with myself and the world around me. You you do suffer a lot when there's drama around you. You don't like it at all, okay? But you're able to. I think something a Taurus is good at is like they know that they're drained, so they'll come home, they'll like take an hour or two to decompress. Even at the highest peak of stress, you're able to bring yourself down. You know the ways to do it, okay? And it's usually by isolating yourself. And, my family didn't used to understand that about me. They used to think I was rude because I'd come home from work and I'd like, you know, lock myself away in my room for an hour and they'd be like, what the hell? But I need it. I need that to decompress because I'm stressed. A bull belongs in a pasture and they should have that whole pasture to themselves. They can stand to be around others, of course they can, but we prefer one-on-one time. I work in a school, right? So it's like working in a beehive. It's noisy, it's busy. I've got like decisions to make constantly. It's high pressure. I can't really get a breather all day. It's a short day, but it's an intense day. And then I've got stuff to do when I get home. And it's like, if I don't take time out, I'm not going to make it. Okay. So I actually need that because I don't want to. I've taken so much on my back all day that I like I'll keep up the facade while I'm in work and then I get home and I've got to crumble. I've got to because I've had to be strong in front of everyone. I've had to do that all day. Do you know what I mean? It's rare for me to cry in work or do anything like that or be well, I do shout, but if it comes to altercations with adults, negotiating colleagues, superiors, subordinates, um, anyone that's on my level, I can keep the facade until I get home, no matter how upset I am or stressed I am or pissed off I am. I will be professional no matter what. So it's like golden to have a Taurus as an employee because they'll be professional no matter what. Okay, it doesn't matter how they're feeling inside. Let's get you some sacred geometry and then we'll move on. Conception. The frequency of conception invites us to bring our consciousness to our origin, the place where everything in creation begins. It helps us to remember the infinite potential and possibilities of this space and what we can manifest through our own focused awareness and intentions. Okay, so you're very good at manifesting what you want. You manifested yourself into from a complete battlefield into being in a position of the Emperor. You're the most important vessel for manifestation, Taurus. You're very good at it because you're very spiritual, you're very introspective. There's depth to this. Okay, we're not what we look like. There's so much more to us than that. It's like eons and eons of depth. You know how the universe is infinite and we think of the universe like in an outwards way. Taurians are infinite inward, if that makes sense. Like, it's just limitless, really. Healing. The frequency of healing supports our intrinsic ability to restore our health and wholeness by consciously using the information that comes to us through our senses and harmonizing everything accordingly. So we will suffer all day taking on, we're so sensitive to everything around us, we take on all of everyone's stress and problems that they throw at us. Okay, whether it's directed at us or we're just around it, it stresses us out. Okay, we absorb it like sponges, which is why we need a lot of time to decompress and be by ourselves for many hours afterwards. Like, I'll have whole weekends where I don't see anyone, I don't go out my room because I'm in recovery. Okay. But it's like you're always able to bring yourself back to to reset. Sacral chakra, okay? The frequency of the sacral chakra, the orange flower of life, excuse me, supports our ability to flow with our desires and stimulates our creative power to manifest success and abundance in our lives. You've mastered this. You've absolutely mastered it. You know, like the Empress card, she's the master creator. She can create from zero as many times as she needs to and get to the highest status, okay, in the tarot deck. She is full of creativity, productivity. She's very productive. She can be pregnant literally or pregnant with possibility, pregnant with ideas. Like, your success moves with you wherever you go because you are the source of it. Does that make sense? Other people find success. You are success. You have all the ingredients within you to create that wherever you are in the world as many times as you need to, because you have to reset a lot. Drama happens, things take your success away from you, or you have to make a move and leave somewhere. But you'll always start over and you'll always win. It takes time, but you'll always do it. Romantic love. The frequency of romantic love supports our journey to feel whole and complete through the experience with and reflection of a conscious lover. There's something that you're good on your own, Taurus, but when you're in love, you freaking glow. And even the excitement of the potential of love, it powers you. It's such a good motivator. I think you want a traditional love though. Sometimes people bring us chaos and drama or make us very, very upset, and they knock us off our game, and we don't want that as the Emperor. So I think you're going to hold off to make sure that nothing, because you are a lover, you are very affected by love, deeply and profoundly, and it upsets you for a very long time when it doesn't go right. So I think, you know, like no one's going to turn your eye for a while unless they're very stable, and unless they're very traditional and hold the door open for you, you know, or make you feel like you are cared for, you are supported, you are safe. They're going to be there every day, like showing up for you. Like, I know it's not a love reading, but it's come out, guys. So, because you've got important work to do going forwards, and it's not right that anyone bring you drama. That would be an unjust thing. And you're all about helping others and using the status that you've got to, and the resources that you've acquired to helping others. You've got a lot of important charity work helping people that you know personally or people that you don't know at all. You've got a lot of important things to achieve, and it's not fair to sort of have that distraction and that being pulled off your game is gonna like stop you from helping other people as well in a much wider sense, you know, like hundreds, thousands of people. You've got like a big reach now that you can help a lot of people, so don't let anyone take you off your game. Have I forgotten to do something? I feel like I've forgotten to do something. No, we've done everything, haven't we? We've done everything. Okay, I'm going to move on from Taurus and I'm going to go on to Gemini. Hi, Truth Hurts. Hi, Kashawn. Hi, Ivan. Hi, Donna. I find it very difficult to make decisions because hi, Zaresh. Hi, Rezia. I'm very well, thank you. I'm Libra moon, so I see both sides of everything, and I cannot pick out things like birthday cards. Like, I like care too much about what I'm seeing. Oh, hi, Fairy Redbeard. Well, you can always rewind. I've only just finished it. I've done half an hour for each, so if you go to like 30 minutes, you'll find it. Sociopaths comes in when you're talking about workplaces. Were you listening? There's sociopaths in every workplace. If you think that there aren't types of people in workplaces, you just don't understand on that level, or you haven't worked there long enough for them to show their moves yet. Workplaces are chessboards, right? And people change in work. They become like gladiators in an arena, like, especially if there's a threat to positions, if there's redundancies being made. My God, it becomes a battlefield. People who've been perfectly cordial and even got on well with you can turn. Okay, it's every person for themselves because it's their income, it's their like stability in life. So I'm 40 now. I've lived that so many times.